Welcome back to Stormworks Unlimited. This is Tater. Today I'm driving around in an infinitely powered vehicle. I kind of came across this in the process of designing a windmill, and I've taken that infinite power motor or engine out of the windmill and put it in a car. Um, and you can see that I'm driving around just hunky-dory doing 33, 32 miles an hour, whatever it is. Um, it's it seems to be extremely torquey. I'm running at 241 engine torque right now. RPS is at 0.8, which is really low, but running through a series of gearboxes and whatnot, I'm able to actually achieve some decent speed with it, and it will not run out of power. Period. The only time the engine will stall out is if I'm cambered to the right, which I think is just part of the whole infinite power glitch acting up. As you can see, I can climb right straight up, no problem. There, I just stalled out. Just being a little bit off camber will stall it out. I do have a way to get unstalled out, though. Let me show you. So I'm pushing forward and nothing's happening. And let me show you guys here that this pivot back here is not powered, but it runs through this relay. So if I turn that relay on, I can actually force it to move a little bit and get myself back out of the situation that I'm stuck in. Of course, it will usually roll through anytime it stalls out, just like that, and I don't really have any problems for the most part, unless you stop like that. That's when the problems really start to happen. It can drive underwater, of course, because it does not require any air or anything to power it, just its own weird, glitchy physics. So I'm going to leave a link to this car in the description. You guys can download it from the Steam Workshop there and check it out. And then if you guys decide to use this motor or some variation of it, just please give credit where credit is due. That's all I ask. And I'd like to see what you guys come up with when you're tinkering around with the thing. It does lose power as I'm driving, but that's just because I have the generator up there like really running slow. And I do that just to get more power to the wheels. If I turn my brakes on, it kicks on this generator back here, which is geared much higher, and you'll see it actually start to pick up power generation right there. So there is potential to make it run much better and faster. I've actually had it where it'll do right around 65 miles an hour. I just tamed it down and tried to make it a little more stable, because with its weight and the rotating mass, it really gets funky at high speeds with this small of a vehicle. I think if it was in like a boat or something along those lines, I don't think it would have any issues whatsoever. So, but yeah, there's a lot of potential. I don't think you're ever going to get an aircraft off the ground with this particular engine, but you could easily run a boat with it or whatnot and not have any issues, just other than its weight. So that's the biggest thing. But the amount of torque it produces is technically infinite. I know it sounds crazy, but I had over 100 gearboxes geared 3-to-1, and it would not stop turning. In fact, my torque meter actually read infinite, which is pretty crazy. I've never seen that before, and it was a lot of fun. It was still rotating. It just physically would not stop rotating, and the torque was just out of this world. So it's got some serious potential. I think put in the right hands with the right people, you could really do some fun stuff with this. I have increased the number of, for lack of a better word, cylinders, where I had 8 sets of tires running up and down instead of these 4, and it does increase torque. The RPS stays about the same, but of course that's based on how much load you're putting on the engine itself. If I were to stop the vehicle completely, you'd see that the RPS of the crankshaft would actually increase quite a bit. And it'll actually spin pretty fast. A couple more cylinders would probably help a car pretty good, but then you have to start thinking about power, weight, and whatnot like that. I think for the purpose of this video, this is plenty, and I hope it kind of gets the point across of that you can do infinite power engines and all sorts of cool things. So Like I said, this is not running any type of electric motor on it, or anything like that. It's just powered off of the rotation of those tires. And those tires spin by magic black sorcery. And I really don't have a good explanation for what happens there, other than the suspension is making that thing turn. Um, it's the only thing I can come up with. I just really don't know. So, like I said, I'll put a link in the description for it in the workshop if you guys use it, and put it back on the workshop. Just make sure that you give me some credit on this. And I don't care what you do to it or how you use it. Just like I said, just give me credit. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching.